On the night of the 1876 election, America went to sleep believing it knew who its next president was. Newspapers rushed to print bold headlines. Telegraph wires buzzed with the same name, over and over: Samuel Tilden. The Democrat had won the popular vote and was just one single vote shy of securing the Electoral College. For almost everyone, the race was over. But then, just before dawn, that certainty began to fracture. Strange messages started trickling in from 3 southern states: Florida, Louisiana, and South Carolina. Suddenly, officials there claimed they couldn't certify the results. In some areas, errors were conveniently discovered. In others, allegations of voter intimidation appeared out of thin air. Telegraph lines that had been busy all night suddenly went quiet. When they came back to life, the numbers were different. Ballots that had been counted once disappeared, only to reappear with new totals. By morning, the nation woke up to something it had never seen before: 2 men, both claiming to be president. The Republican, Rutherford B. Hayes, who had gone to bed accepting defeat, now saw a sudden, miraculous path to the White House. His supporters cried foul, insisting the Southern elections were riddled with fraud. Democrats called it what it looked like: outright theft. The tension was immediate and visceral. Newspapers began to print warnings of another civil war. In Washington, politicians whispered about armed militias marching on the Capitol. To stop the country from tearing itself apart, congressional leaders announced a special Electoral Commission. It was supposed to be neutral, fair, and above politics, made up of senators, congressmen, and Supreme Court justices. But everyone knew the truth. The commission was balanced on a knife's edge: 7 Democrats, 7 Republicans, and 1 supposedly independent justice. It was clear from the start: a single vote would decide the presidency. The meetings happened behind closed doors. The public was fed only carefully worded summaries. Full transcripts of what was said were never released. Some crucial documents just never appeared at all. One by one, the commission made its rulings on the disputed states. And one by one, every single decision went to Hayes. The vote was always the same: 8-7. Again and again. It was a perfect, unbroken partisan line. Too perfect. While the commission held its official meetings, something else was happening in the shadows. It took years for historians to piece it together from private letters, unsigned notes, and cautiously written memoirs. They noticed strange coincidences: late-night visits between political rivals, secret meetings in hotel rooms. The real decision, it turned out, wasn't being made by the commission at all. This became known as the Compromise of 1877. There's no single document that lays out the deal. No one ever signed their name to it. But its consequences were immediate and devastating. Rutherford B. Hayes became president, despite losing the popular vote by 250,000 ballots. In exchange, all federal troops were pulled out of the South, effectively ending the era of Reconstruction. 4 million of newly freed African Americans. This was a catastrophe. The federal protection they relied on vanished overnight. Their rights were stripped away. A new, darker chapter of American history began. Hayes was sworn into office quietly, behind closed doors, with no public ceremony. It was almost as if they were afraid of what might happen if the public saw what had just occurred. And what about Tilden? The man who had all but won the presidency? He just stepped aside. He didn't lead an uprising or contest the result. He simply accepted it, almost as if he knew the outcome had already been decided for him, in a room he was never invited into. Some records from those secret negotiations later vanished. Others were deliberately destroyed. A few still sit in archives today, rarely discussed. History textbooks often call it a peaceful solution to a constitutional crisis. But if a president can be chosen in a secret deal, if the fate of millions can be traded away without any witnesses, if the official story only comes out after the real one is over, then where do elections truly end, and where do backroom bargains begin? And if it happened once, so brazenly, so openly, what makes us so sure it could never happen again? Thanks for watching. If you found this piece of hidden history interesting, make sure to follow for more.